What's up everybody? Welcome back to the Purple Garage, and today we're back on Deep Orange 9, our first love project. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get a second seat in where the passenger seat should have gone in the original Honda Civic, but then was co-opted for a battery box in order to house all of the high voltage batteries that power the electric powertrain. Those batteries have long since been taken out and used for research and other purposes, but we were left with sort of this big useless hole, and so what we decided to do was put a second seat in so we could carry passengers around and do demonstration rides and parades and all kinds of cool stuff. So we got this second seat. Deep Orange actually originally bought this seat for Deep Orange 9, and they just didn't end up using it. They actually bought 3 of them, so we were able to get this seat on the cheap, which means free, and then we were able to get these brackets made here in-house by our on-site machinist Gary on the cheap, in order to get them into the bottom of the car. So the plan is for today is we're going to try to grind some of these cross members that are in here, get the paint off of them, and then we're going to weld those beams along the side of the seat down onto the bottom, and then we should just be able to bolt the seat in. We should be good. We also bought a safety harness from Sony Racing. So this is a 5-point harness just like the one that's in the driver's seat, so we should be able to get that installed hopefully today too. And then the goal for the end of the day would be to be able to drive it around with a passenger and everybody be safe. So stay tuned. Right, situation update viewers. So we have done a lot of cleaning up inside the car, so now all of these bars that used to be painted white are now nice and shiny metal. So the very next step is to move on to phase 2, which is welding. So we've got a welder there that we've borrowed, a big welder, in order to do it. I have 0 hours experience welding. Some of the other people we have here, I think we have a combined total of like 25 hours worth of welding experience. So they're not going to be the most professional things in the world, but they should get the job done. So today's a little bit of a bittersweet day here at the Purple Garage. This is my favorite tool, the MVP of the Deep Orange 9 and the Deep Orange 3 project. It's a piece of steel pipe that I rescued out of the dumpster, and it was really the only reason we were able to get the engine apart, because all those bolts were so over torqued that we had to put this on the end of our breaker bar to make it even longer. Then in the Deep Orange 3 project, we used this to not asphyxiate ourselves, and it was our exhaust pipe extension. But now that we're putting a second seat in Deep Orange 9, we need a second harness. The harness needs to wrap around this in order to do the shoulder belts. And so since we had it laying around and it was free, it was really the best thing for us to use. But I have to say goodbye to it as my favorite tool. We've already stripped all the paint off of it. I just went at it with a grinder. So now I guess it will have a permanent home, and I'll have to rescue something else from the dumpster. But it is a little sad. So it's been a couple days, and I've learned that fabricating inside of a car is about 5 times harder than I thought it was going to be. But we have made some decent progress. So if you look inside here, we've got everything welded down, so the seat can actually get fixed now. The welds, they're not the prettiest thing in the world, but I didn't do them, and they're a lot better than what I could have done, so I can't complain. And we've got holes marked out to where we're going to mount our safety harness. We've got all the mounting hardware that we need here, so now we just have to poke those holes with a drill, and then we should be able to fix everything. We have checked, and the seat does fit, so that's some major success there. And then the last thing we need to do is we need to finish welding the bar that goes behind the driver's seat to hold the shoulder restraints. So there's one more cut that we need to do, and we're waiting for some more professional help on that. Another thing that has unfortunately happened is that our super nice, super lightweight 12-volt lithium-ion battery that was originally put inside of this car bit the dust over the weekend, so we've gotten a new one. So this is not a lithium battery, and it's about 6 times heavier than the original one, but hopefully it works when we try to test it. So the goal is to get everything like test fit in here as well as we can, and then we'll test fire it again and maybe take it for a spin with a passenger in the passenger seat. All right, good progress update. The seat's in. We have our seat model we hired here. This is Chance. He's the new member of the Purple Garage, so say hi to Chance. But we got the seat fully installed. The bottom 3 parts of the 5-point harness are installed in their final installation points. The top 2, the shoulder restraints, we found a way to jerry rig and get them in there, but tomorrow we're gonna finish welding that bar and get them in their permanent locations. But we have enough now to go grab some helmets and take a joyride. it's nighttime now, and the reason we're still here is because tragedy has stricken. Chance, you want to tell us a little bit about what happened?
So we were test driving it outside, and the power steering suddenly went out. So we started doing a little bit of diagnostic, trying to figure out what was wrong. There is 12 volts on the battery up here, and there's a little bus bar that is connected to with a fuse in the middle of it, and there's 12 volts on one side, there's not 12 volts on the other, and that is that's the circuit that supplies the relay for the power steering. So we're suspecting that is now our issue.
So if we fix that, we're back on the road?
Yep, we gotta fix this bus bar and the fuse on it. So, and that should fix everything.
Welcome back, everyone. So it's actually been a minute since we filmed that last clip. It's been about 2 weeks, and a lot has happened in those 2 weeks. So when you last saw us, we had just busted a 100 amp fuse in the power steering. Totally lost power steering. It was kind of scary, but we found the fuse, we replaced it, power steering came right back. And then the day after that, we final mounted our safety harness for the passenger. So when we had done that little joyride where we lost the power steering, we had mounted the two shoulder straps for the safety harness just to a bolt that was in the back of the car that was supposed to hold something else. So it was, you know, safe-ish, but it wasn't really a good permanent solution. So we found a steel bar, we welded it to the frame, and we wrapped the shoulder harnesses around that steel bar. So now everything should be really nice and secure. So we're all ready, and then 1 or 2 days after that, this car was put on a truck, and it was trucked up to Michigan. We went to the Michigan International Speedway for the Formula SAE yearly competition up there. It was an amazing time. There were a ton of really, really impressive collegiate teams. We were there recruiting for our program, so if you were there, if you're interested in a degree in automotive engineering, especially a graduate degree, then please feel free to reach out. There's some links in the description to get you connected to all that. We started up the car maybe 5 or 6 times a day for the 3 days that we were there. It was a huge hit, big crowd drawer, so we think that event was a huge success, and if you were there, we'd love to hear from you. So the only problem with the event is that between Thursday and Friday, while we were there, a massive rainstorm blew through, and this car got kind of wet, and so the seat was really wet. It was pretty damp to sit in there. We tried everything out. The engine started up. We thought we were good, but apparently we weren't good. Because we started it up all through Friday. It ran okay. We drove it just a little bit to help line it up to get it back on the truck, but none of that was enough shaking for the problem to come to light. So down here you'll see the holes in the valve cover, these 4 holes. The spark plugs are in the bottom of those holes, and there's a rubber boot that sits on top to make the electrical connection to the coil. But in those holes, some water had built up, and in one for cylinder number 2, there was like 2 inches of water in there. And so after we got it back, we did another test run with the car, just driving it to the tower and back, and the car like completely shut off in the middle of the run. We thought we were out of gas. We weren't out of gas. It turns out the water had just worked its way up in there and started shorting something out. So we dried up the water. It's been about a week with those wires unplugged in order to get it dried out, and now everything should be good. But yeah, huge things have changed with this car since the last time we saw it. The other thing we did is when we originally did the rebuild, because there was so much rust in the coolant system, we filled it up with this rust remover chemical, where it's a concentrate, and you fill the rest of the coolant system up with water. So we did a coolant swap, so we drained out that rust remover stuff because it's really not supposed to stay in there super long. Then we put real coolant in behind it. I took about 2 free showers in coolant that day. This car is really not engineered to do that kind of maintenance on it easily, and we may not have gotten it all out, so we might have to do it again. But so far the car seems to be behaving well. But I guess that's just the joys of working with a prototype car. There's always something interesting going on. But the way things stand now, there's really only one thing left to do, and that's take it for a spin with some unsuspecting passengers. It doesn't go into reverse.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, you were telling me about that, yeah.
I think the clutch is dragging.
My leg's falling asleep because I found to put it up so high.
Oh well, she just got unhappy, I think. It's in first, I think. Yeah. So let everything out, and great job.
Oh, nice.
You're pushing it harder than I was, I think.